Hello Connective, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you don't know how I work, I put a bunch of different cards from different decks on the table, tell a story, and we talk about it. If you like the content on this channel, feel free to subscribe. Don't smash anything. And with that being said, let's get into this energy. So this is a general reading for Leo. Wow, let's try that again. These are actually shuffled, but I wanted to move them around a little bit, see if I can get any kind of like pre-reading impressions. And for some reason, well, I'll just give you the words and then we'll figure out what it corresponds to later. But I really, the sun came up and like battery life and energy. So, I don't know, I might have to do something with some kind of action or, you know, expression that you need to do. We'll see what's going on. Let's see, these are the energy oracle. Let's see if these want to jump for Leo. Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, wow, it keeps getting that card. All right, hold on. Come on. All right, hold on. I think I want to get it, like, go through it. Everybody's been getting a lot of cards, so I feel like this might not be done talking, so let me just go through it a couple more times. And yeah, oh my god, okay, yes, other readings have gotten these cards. I'm trying to remember who that was it Libra? Okay, we'll get there. Anything else? Is it that certain cards are more verbal than others? Okay, that was kind of clumsy. One more time. Ooh. Ooh. What? Okay. You can stay. Jeez. All right, one more. Just, wow. What on earth was that? What was that? Oh my god. It's yin yang. All right. You know what? Let's just put them all out right now for a second. Okay, so the first one I saw was anxiety. So we're going to put that over here for right now. We also have community. So good friends. Fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. Unfortunately, this is our heart chakra. Hopefully this is a good reading. We have man holding a coin. It could be man holding anything, woman holding anything. It doesn't have to be a man. We have the door to romance. Let's see if we're able to go through that door or if we've got something else going on. And another archangel, first chakra, Archangel Michael. Whoa. Yeah. Actually, we should put the angels, just put the angels next to each other. And I have a feeling this yin yang card's gonna have to go somewhere else. All tied up. Okay. Other signs have been getting these cards. It's not just you, Leo. Oh, but nobody got Blossoming Abundance. I mean, they got Cornucopia, which is kind of close, but this card could have come out too, and it didn't. You got this card. And Caring Connections. So that to me also is part of community, but this is kind of like relationships, like family, you know, romantic relationships, and then like good friends. I just always consider this to be like good friends. People want to help you out. I'm talking about good friends. I'm not talking about the friends that are around you that drain your energy. See, there's that word we were talking about, energy, your battery power. Wow. Okay, so I guess we're getting to that. Obviously there's balance. This is usually like a balance of male and female energy, but it could just be balanced. So we'll see what's going on with this, like, yeah. All right, so we could put those over here, but for some of these signs, our new pattern is to put those cards over there. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens for Leo. We're going to pull Alice the Wonderland. This is supposed to be your perception of the situation. So whatever the situation is that's unfolding right now on the table, the Alice the Wonderland cards are your perception of it. And then kind of helps us to see... because it does kind of like we're working towards something, but really like all the goodness is here. It's just like being tied up, so probably keeping yourself stuck, which is making you anxious. This is possible. I should switch those cards. So Yeah. Yeah. That blossoming abundance, that doesn't have to be like a relationship or love. That can really be anything. We're not sure 100% if this relationship is about love. We do have the heart chakra on the table, but we also have I wanted to call it the base chakra. Sometimes when I'm channeling, I'm like, certain words are really easy to come. And other words, they're like nowhere in sight. Or like I'll get like a storyline, but then I'll lose it. I should just ask them to bring it back, you know? Your root chakra. Anyway, let's see what, Alice has to say. Okay. More messages than I wanted. So we're going to stick with this. Impossible things. What's happening? You guys are blocking yourself? Uncertainty. So like uncertainty's been coming out in this deck, but not this deck, right? And messages for a rabbit. It just says service to the animal world. Messages for a rabbit. We're all mad here. Yes, this card has come out 2 further signs. So we got impossible things. We have we're all mad here. Messages for a rabbit and uncertainty. All right, I'm just going to tell you right now, Leo. I don't know if this is bad or good, but this sure looks cool. I can't. Seriously. And that's just the kind of twisted thing you'd expect from Alice in Wonderland. This deck is called Alice the Wonderland, but messages for a rabbit. Oh, Lord. Okay, so let's just pull the moons. We might even just pull the blind spot. What are we into here? Yeah, let's move this because this looks like there might be a few facets to it. We're going to want to cover. Again, these are shuffled. We'll just see if they'll jump. Guys, what is messages for a rabbit? I think it's very interesting that they look alike too. They both have like white hair and red eyes. I mean, at least in this light. We'll see, but what color are her eyes if they're not red? Because I'm looking at a bunch of other cards where her eyes are blue. Messages for a rabbit. No, there's abundance on the table. This one's not bad. Here, let's pull one from the bottom. It's blossoming abundance, though. Sometimes that is kind of like what I say before, like where it's like you have to do something to get it. Like you have to watch it blossom. Like it's not going to just, I mean, it could be. But I like this card because this card is like the gift that keeps giving. It's like the abundance that keeps coming. And it's like right next to the door of romance. I mean, this does really look like love. Like it could be carrying connections. It could be like friends, good family, other people's family that are really good friends, or other people's family that are like your family, or friends that are like your family, right? This is, I'm telling you, this is like home, right? So let's see who else might be involved in here with Leo. So we have last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. We got Pisces in the house. We have last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. And we have new moon in Cancer, relax. All right, I don't know what's happening here, but let's pull the blind spot. These are shuffled too. They're not going to shuffle well because the camera's on. Let me just see if we can get one to come out, Leo. All right. I want to know, what is Leo's blind spot? We want to talk about it now. Yeah. How much time? Yeah. Just want one blind spot for Leo for this reading so that we can put it all together in a way that Leo can understand. We have one blind spot for... Wow. All right, we're going to take that one. What is that? What is Leo's blind spot? Wow. Okay, I don't know what this sigil is, but it has hearts all over it. Again, this looks like relationship. I mean, it might not be, it could just be love, like friends that you love, like, but this is like real love. This is not, I love you and then you act crazy or you do something or you just neglect somebody. That's not what this is. So what's our block? Okay. Well, Leo, this is interesting. I wasn't prepared for this. Your block is your goodness. That's what it says. Let me take another look at this. Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, this is interesting because there's a good possibility. I've done like in the past on this channel, I've done like empath empowerment readings, and you know, recently I did one. I kind of spent a few months away, and then I came back and I did an empath empowerment reading. Nobody watches those, right? But so more people are likely to watch this Leo reading than an empath empowerment reading. I'm going to tell you right now, Leo, this is an empath empowerment reading. 100%. If you don't know what an empath is, you might want to look it up. It might be, I'd look it up from a couple of different sources, because empaths, people who don't understand empaths can just really peg it wrong. There might be similar things that they might say, but if they impose their opinion on it and they tell you why it's that way and they're not an empath, they won't know and you'll get misguided. You're probably an empath. If you found this reading, you're probably an empath, okay? That's the first thing. Oh, I never thought we'd be having this conversation. If you are, like I said, if you look it up, you identify with it. There's empath empowerment readings on this channel. I'm not sure if they're on other channels, but you might want to start finding out what empath empowerment is, and I'll tell you why. But we're going to get back to this, okay? I needed to put that out there because I need you to understand where this is coming from. It's not going to sound, it's going to be like law of attraction stuff, like how I talk about on this channel, but it's not going to be like how I talk about it unless you're watching an empath empowerment reading. Because a lot of times the empath empowerment readings are specifically speaking to empaths. There's a reason why things are in their lives like a certain way, and a lot of times it's because they're empaths. And the thing is you might not even identify with this card. If you're an empath, you'd be like, what community? Okay, they're coming. The problem is that you have to get over some things so that you can allow for this. If you're disempowered, then you're still creating on accident. You haven't found that balance in your life yet. And your heart chakra, it's probably still being affected by people who don't want to treat you right. And then this is like your base, your foundation. You know, you can't say no. This is how I'm taking this card right now. You don't know how to say no. And it's not just that, but a lot of times the translation of not being able to say no is so much easier to understand because you do actively remember all the times you should have said no. Whereas if you describe that as something else, it might not click with the person right away, right? So you have the man holding the coin. Maybe somebody asked you to borrow money. It doesn't really matter what it is, because the problem is that you don't know how to say no. They could have asked you for anything. right? Anything that you didn't want to give up. Maybe you didn't care about giving up the money, but that's also because your problem is your goodness. But we'll get back to that. Back to it. Well, this card is interesting. I was almost going to skip it, but it caught my eye, so let's discuss it. Okay, so first of all, maybe it's going along with these cards because now I'm getting more messages. But right here, so before we even do anything, we're all tied up, right? And we're anxious. Well, okay, the reason why we're tied up is because we don't know how to say no. And the reason why we're anxious is because we know we don't know how to say no. So we know that if this situation comes up again, that we're going to have fear because we don't know how to deal with it, because we don't know how to say no. Okay, it's going to keep going back to the same thing. If you're an empath, this is going to keep happening to you until you figure it out. Right now, you're in uncertainty. If I have to tell you that you're an empath, then right now you're in uncertainty. You don't 100% know what that means. You kind of know you're different, but the only reason why you know you're different, I get this card now, messages for a rabbit. Okay, so you don't know, the only way that you know that you're different is because people have told you in the past that you're too sensitive. They've told you that, don't be so upset about, this is talk less, feel more. This is actually probably them. They probably need to talk less and feel more. If they're telling you that you're too sensitive and you need to let this go and you need to, then they're not anywhere near you. And that's why they're creating all the uncertainty. And the thing is as empaths, we want to please others, so that's part of the reason why our goodness gets in the way. We'll give stuff we don't want to give. That's what I was talking about over here with not being able to say no. So we'll give stuff. It can be money. It can be the money that we need to pay our stuff. And we'll give it to you. I ain't lying. Some of you Leos know. You know, right? You think if you're just open and everything, you can walk through the door to romance and you can just get abundance. And what is this? Blossoming abundance. The problem is that until you heal from this situation, heal from the overgiving, heal from the not being able to say no, you won't see that most of these people, this thing that you want right here, it's not coming towards you because most of these people are taking advantage of you. You're believing in impossible things. I'm sorry, Leo. This is it's like a replay of all the conversations that I've ever had with people who were empaths who didn't know it. We have the conversation, and then many months later, they're figuring out that they're an empath, or they're figuring out what that means. So I don't expect you to take all of this in. It might be too much. But being an empath is kind of like following the white rabbit down the hole. It's a choice, right? But sometimes if you're an empath, you're probably, everybody's having a spiritual awakening, but you're probably having what I would call an active spiritual awakening. An active spiritual awakening is where you're being faced with challenges in your life that you need to learn what's going on with them so that you can break these cycles. We're all mad here. You might get poked at because you're different, but people who are poking at you think they're the same, and we're all made from the same material, but we're all different. That's the beauty of it, right? If we could just see that, we'd just be one giant community. But some people don't really want it that way. They create uncertainty about who we are, trying to get us to believe impossible things about ourselves, right? Especially if they don't understand. If your heart is full all the time, they may not get it. They may not even believe you. It's not your job to tell them either. It's not your job to explain to other people. If they want to have the benefits, and I'm telling you this right now, people who kick empaths to the curb or think they're weak and treat them like crap, and the empath leaves because they just don't want to experience love, they realize later on what the hell they did, what they gave up. It was your goodness. They gave it up, thinking they could get somebody else just like you, not realizing that there's nobody like you. Hello. Right? Realize when other people need to talk less and feel more. If that's you, if you're an empath, it could be you. But chances are you're already feeling stuff you don't want to feel, right? From other people. It might even be a little scary too. You might be like, I don't want to feel what everybody feels. This is like BS. Like, what am I going to do with that? You know? You have to learn how to manage it. It's that balance. You have to learn how to manage it. Because escapism would be making everybody else change because you're an empath. Nobody's gonna, you'll be lucky if the people around you even want to just watch their energy. You're gonna feel everything, even through the phone. Sorry. So this is part of it, your goodness. This is what disempowered empaths are dealing with. It's what they're working with, right? They just give it out. When you start healing from that, things start to surface that kind of show you where you were giving things to people that never offered you anything. I was going to say this and then censor myself, so now I have to say it. Let me clear my throat. They may have offered you sex, but then once you realize that that's all they offered you, you realize why you only got screwed. Sorry. For some people, that's not extremely damaging. They can go through that scenario and it's not like a heartbreaker. I mean, the heartbreaker is not really on the table, except the heart chakra is. We have to watch our heart chakra if we're going to keep getting into situations. It doesn't matter if it's friends, family, or relationships where people are hurting us, right? As an empath, our goodness is to our detriment when we don't, set boundaries. Is pretty much most of the videos on this channel. I keep talking about it. I guess this is the theme of the channel. Boundaries. Boundaries. Empaths need them. You need them. This reading is going to change a little bit for you, Leo, because if you're interested, if this is your reading, there will be an extended and there'll be a link in the description. But what we'll do is usually in the extended, I pull like the Heal Yourself cards, the Soul Helper Oracle, and the Angel Guide Oracle. In your extended, we'll pull those cards, but we're also going to pull a couple of the empath decks, okay? So just to talk a little bit more about what's going on here on the table and to highlight a little more like this relationship stuff and the reason why it's like that when your goodness is your blind spot, your downfall, your block. So that before you leave this reading, you have at least a good understanding of, I was going to say why things are the way they are, but it should shed some light on like being sensitive and like what it means and a little bit about what you can do to make it a little bit easier, right? I'm going to tell you right now that the first thing is to relax. Okay. And if people can't talk less and feel more and meet you some way halfway on your level, you're going to have to learn how to protect your energy. I'm going to give you that in this one right here. You're going to have to learn how to protect your energy. If you're an empath, learn how to protect your energy. I'm going to say it one more time. Leo, if you're an empath, learn how to protect your energy. That is part of keeping the balance for yourself so you don't freak out on people. We're all mad here. Because it can get a little hairy. Your intuition is going to kick in. Trust it. If you don't trust it, what's going to happen is it's going to take you all the way back around to the beginning where you're going to start wanting to trust it again, and then you're going to learn. Trust it now. Even if you're uncertain, you're going to get these weird hits. You're going to talk to somebody and you're going to know what they want before they want it. Trust that. Then more stuff will pop up for you to be able to trust. But if you don't get that first thing that's offered to you, if you don't relax, just take it in, pay attention, trust your intuition. That's what I'm talking about. Trust your intuition. You won't get any more messages until you do that. And there'll be all kinds of messages. Messages to check your phone, messages to get out of that lane when you're driving, messages not to walk down the street that way, not to walk down the street right now. Maybe that guy that cut you off just saved you from that accident that almost happened. If you would have been in front, would you have been the one that got hit? That happened to me the other day. Everybody kept cutting me off, and then this guy ran a red light and he almost hit the guy in front of me. And the only reason why there wasn't another guy in front of me was because I didn't let him cut me off. So it didn't even occur to me until I was a couple blocks away. I was like, would you have gone into the intersection faster than that guy? Because that guy was irritating you. Yeah. Trust your intuition. Be patient. Let people cut you off. We say it all the time. We say it all the time. So, I'm going to at least get the empath empowerment cards, and I'll get like an empath activation card for you guys in the extended. We're going to talk more about this blind spot, how it's not helping you, but how you can learn to keep that and make it work for you so that you can have these relationships without people taking advantage of you. We'll pull the healing cards. So we got a lot to do in that extended. So we're going to take it over there right now. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot I can say with these cards on the table. I mean, I could, but I'd just be rehashing the same thing. Everything that I said is extremely important. If you're an empath, pay attention to things that I said. If you have to watch this video again, watch this video again. It took me a while to realize how to balance myself being an empath. And you know, again, that's before you figure out like you're a medium or anything else. So this is the first thing. This energy thing. This is the first thing. I mean, I'm just gonna throw this out here before I leave. If you're an empath, you could be a light worker. A lot of empaths are light workers, okay? So again, the energy thing, super important if you're trying not to screw up your experience on this planet. So you definitely want to pay attention. We're gonna talk more about it. Get those cards out. I feel like I have another empath deck, but I can't remember, so it's a possibility that I don't. It's a possibility I was using other decks to communicate with the empath cards, but I'm just going to get empath cards for you guys aside from these healing cards. So yeah, all right, Leo. If this is your reading, link is in the description. Meet us over at the extended. If not, until we meet again,